Hey guys, on this video, I talked to a few new agents out in Texas. Another great interview with Shelly. And with new agents, so it brought me back to when I was new, what advice I have, because it is really hard when you're a new agent. So I try to help them out as best as I can. So if you're a new agent, check this video out and let me know what you think. Thanks again.
You are going to be hearing from the number one agent in the company currently right now, Dan, who's in California. We're very jealous of your background.
Hi, Dan.
Hey guys.
So I'm really excited. Thank you, Dan, for agreeing to speak to our protege agents today. So I sent you over some of the major talking points that we had them do for homework and things that we just wrapped up talking about with Jeff. So I guess we'll jump into it if that's okay with you.
Yeah, let's get started. Hopefully I can help you guys out today. I think Shelly's really onto something as far as reaching out to me, and we've worked with, in the past before. She's asking really good questions for you guys. So she's a great ABC that you guys have that I could really tell looking out for you guys. So yeah, hopefully I can help you guys out.
Hang on to say that. I'll send it to you on Venmo. Okay, let's talk budgeting. Let's start there. Let's talk money. So when you started your agency as a brand new agent, what was the budget that you set aside for maybe staffing, marketing, your office space? What did that look like in California?
Yeah, when I first started, I think this is a real, it's going to really depend on each person's situation. I think I had a little money saved up, so that helped me. Didn't have kids at the time. So it's a real self-awareness situation where you really have to, because what I went through may not work well for you guys. But you really want to be aware of to grow your business long term, and more you can sacrifice now, that is going to play a big impact on how you grow in the future. So when it comes to budgeting, I would say, I would recommend, no matter what your situation is, to see how much you could really sacrifice when it comes to your personal expenses right now. So that's like, vacations and cars and having fun and stuff like that, and trying to really understand, okay, the more I spend money on marketing, staffing, it's going to be better for your agency long term. So for me, I kind of had, and again, this is a personal choice because not everybody is in the situation to maybe do that. But you may want to look into your situation and say, hey, how long can I go without making any money, really? And the agents are really thinking long term and are willing to make the sacrifice. And I know this isn't great news. Are the ones that it's going to pay off at the end. And it's really almost how patient you could be, and really looking for more long-term goals rather than short-term goals. So to answer your question, Shelly, more in detail, I would say I just budgeted as much as I possibly could. Spend money on what's going to make me money long-term, and really try to cut back on things that was, leisure or entertainment. So I didn't really, I would, again, everybody's, personal situation is different, but it is really good to look at your numbers. Hey, I need this much, I need to rent or mortgages this much, food, just like the necessities, you go there and then you see what's left over. And then when it comes to budgeting, you really want to just, the more you have, the faster your agency will grow. I would say that. So I wouldn't really. I don't think it really helped for you guys to hear what my personal numbers were, because my situation, everybody's situation is going to be different. So it's really important to be self-aware, and also depends on what your goals are too. Like, okay, if you just want to have a comfortable lifestyle where you're golfing all the time, maybe you don't have to make that much of sacrifices in the beginning. Or if you really want to build a huge agency, there's going to be more sacrifices. So really, maybe you want to start backwards and figure out what you really want to do. And that's going to determine how much you're going to spend money right now.
Okay, let's talk how you scaled your staffing from when you first opened your doors Did you have any staff right off the bat? What position did you have, if any, or what would you have done differently looking back now, 12 years in?
When it comes to staff, I started very early. So I started, I think it was about 3 months. Okay, in 3 months I started. And then the first staff member should be just like an assistant. Okay, just helping you out with the, everything that needs to be done that doesn't really require any, so you really want to be, I would say in the beginning, the one selling the most. So this assistant is going to be the person who's taking care of the paperwork or calling people who are late on payments or calling mortgage companies or calling farmers or chatting with farmers to get discounts on there. Just someone who's going to help you out and somebody you really like working with, because once you have a first staff, you're going to have to go into the office every day because that person's going to be there. And then you really want to work with somebody you really like working with, okay, because you want to make, in the beginning, again, not maybe great news, but it is going to be some difficult times out there. It's going to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. So you really want somebody you like working with, positive attitude. Hey, we're going to do this together. So I think as early as possible is great, I would say. So that's where budgeting comes into play. I think that's probably the first thing you want to spend money on is staff and someone you like and someone who's going to just be your assistant. But that person should be learning from you every day. And eventually that person should be able to sell in the long run. And then you repeat that over and over again. Assistant, customer service, sales. Secretary, customer service, sales. So that's how it started from the very first person. Just straight secretary, then customer service, then sales. So it's like a pipeline and steps that they have to go through. And that's really how I'm able to grow my staff, by finding people with zero experience. Takes some time. It's not going to be easy. Again, but everything is for the long term.
Can you touch on your recruiting efforts a little more? And I'm going to make sure that they all have a link to a video that you've done before talking more about staffing and recruiting, but I really like your mindset on it. So could you elaborate on what you look for, how you find these people, and your return on investment?
Yeah, sure. I'm just looking for great attitude and great activity. Those are two things you can't really teach. You could teach them the insurance stuff. Okay, so great attitude, great activity, someone you like working with, and someone who's also in it for the long term too. Someone that's not just like, wants a job for the summer, or someone who wants to become a nurse or a teacher in the future. Someone who's really looking at insurance as a long-term career. So you may want to set up the expectations there. And just, experience is great, but it's going to be hard to recruit people with experience. And speaking of budgeting, you may not be able to afford somebody with that much experience too. So really, you're just looking for somebody, they could be in retail or restaurant or whatever industry they're in. As long as they have good attitude and activity, you can work with that. And it's going to take some time, but the insurance stuff, again, it's going to take a long-term approach. But eventually, they're going to get good at insurance. So don't worry about, they don't know how to do this. They shouldn't. You really want to just start off, at this situation, just find somebody you could afford that has a good attitude and activity.
And where do you find your candidates?
Craigslist has worked well for me. Again, it's just a basic place. You're not looking for, and natural market is another one. If you guys have people you guys know, social media is a good one. Constantly posting that you're looking for people. Those are the three major ones: Craigslist, natural market, and social media. But always be active and looking. It's kind of like getting a sale, getting a pipeline. You have to recruit, and that's, I think, a big part of the business. Always looking for somebody that is going to fit your style. Again, who you like working with is so important to me, guys, because you're going to be paying them and training them. So you really have to come with the mindset that, hey, I'm going to help this person. And if you don't like them, you're not going to want to help them. So because, it's like, how awesome is that you're training them and paying them, So you're going to have a real a care about them, like, hey, I want to help this person, for you to be able to do that.
Definitely. Can you talk about your onboarding process? So what position do they start start as in your agency, and you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, no, again, same thing, secretary, okay, or assistant. Just, data entry, folding envelopes, just the easiest things that's gonna take, make your job easier. So anything that anybody could do almost. So start off very easy, basic, but make sure they're still learning and improving every day.
How long do you keep them in that position?
Until that really depends on the agency's need. I would say in your guys' situation, if you guys are brand new, until your financial situation improves where you could hire another person, then that person could be or wants to get licensed. I think that's a next step to find another person. It all again depends on how aggressive you are or how much budget you have towards staff. So that's going to depends on each one of your guys' situation. And it also depends on the candidates or the employee situation too, how fast they're learning, or how your marketing programs are going, how many leads you're getting, because you really have to have enough activity for you to have somebody else new. So that depends on a lot of factors, but the busier you keep them, the better, because in a shorter amount of time, you really want them to get better, and you want them to get motivated and see that, hey, working hard does pay off. Once they get licensed, they can make commission. So that's the very first short-term goal, trying to get them licensed and recruiting them with that mindset. Hey, this is going to be a long-term thing. 6 months later, hopefully I can get you licensed. We're going to build on something. So creating a vision. But in 3 to 6 months, they should already know basic customer service and then thinking about getting licensed or maybe getting licensed within 6 months.
So at what point do you have them produce? So once they get licensed, are they doing service work or are they straight into sales?
That's going to depend on the agency situation too, how much of a book of business you guys have. But you do definitely, now they could be compensating for selling. So now they could cross-sell your clients. They could work on their natural market, people they know. But I would try to get them selling somehow. Maybe get them some leads, not as much as you're working on, but definitely you're not getting them licensed for fun. You really do want them to sell, and you really don't want to reward them for performance. I think that's a great motivator when they see that, hey, once I got licensed, I'm selling and I'm making an extra income now. That's going to be something that is going to really help them out long term too, because you really want them to have potential and see that for working with you. And once they see that, they're going to work even harder. And really, it's going to be a situation where you're giving a lot first, and then down the line, you're going to be receiving. When it comes to employees, you're not really hiring somebody to help out your next folio. It's going to help out your next year's folio and the year after that. So really have a long-term view when it comes to looking for employees.
Okay, so I just looked at in California, the minimum wage there is $11. So that was just kind of for reference for us. So what is your compensation model with your staff?
Oh, we'll start them off at 15. Okay, so that's just, for recruiting efforts, a little bit easier because, at least that gives them a little guarantee that, hey, I'm doing a little better than retail or restaurant where I'm working at right now. So it's already better. Okay, so you get a little easier time looking for people. And again, this is a situation where everybody's budget's going to be different. But then I kind of sell them a dream, and it's true. Agents here can make $50 an hour if they work hard. I mean, that's going to take 5-7 years, but 1 or 2 years, $25 an hour. So I kind of do show them what realistically can happen, because not only do you want to find somebody now, but you want to find somebody that's willing to work hard to make more money, because that's what you guys are thinking. So you want staff to have the same mindset too, that there is potential in the insurance business sales. So you really want to get them excited about that potential there and let them understand that that's not going to happen right away. It's going to take years, and that's also good for turnover too, because you don't really want to hire somebody 6 months later, start over again, train somebody brand new. That's just not an efficient way of recruiting. So I would say not only retention for your clients is important, retention for your employees is important. So that's why you want to set that expectation from the very beginning that, hey, this is going to take a lot of work. It's not going to be easy, but if you work hard, we're going to be compensated, and farmers are going to reward us for this. So having a long-term mindset and commitment finding someone with commitment is going to be a key factor. If you guys have any questions for me too, I'm happy to take questions for individually, guys. Shelly, I mean, you're doing these questions are great too. But if you guys have any like specific things you guys are going, yeah.
They'll jump in. They're
okay. Yeah.
You currently have 11 staff members, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't see you.
That's okay.
So you have 11 staff, but not all of them are producers. You, which is how I found your agency, you actually hire social media marketers and people to create video content for your agency to help with your exposure. So with that, is there a different way that you compensate them, or because this is kind of a new position that I hope most agencies will add on to?
Yeah, the social media, that's something a little bit newer. I've just started it within the last year. So I'm still trying to figure out how to compensate them for performance. But for now, that's the skill level that is, especially when it comes to a videographer, someone could take video, edit videos, their starting pay is going to be higher than that, because that's a skill that they have that not everybody has when they could make videos and edit videos. And then, people who are posting and things like that could be an entry-level one, posting or trying to get engagement. But social media is a big part of our agency, just contacting people through social media, building connections with them, getting reviews. That helps out with credibility. Everybody's on their phones all the time. So being very active in that has been a big difference in our agency. So that's where, in the beginning, though, I wouldn't really say, hey, you guys need to, hire somebody for that. I would say, hey, you have to learn it yourself. Help each other out, take pictures of each other, and post very regularly. See what's working, see which one's getting more attention. But you really want to be known. You really have to put yourself out there, because nobody knows you, then nobody can buy from you. It's just the world we live in. The more you're known, the more people will think of you, especially when it comes to friends and family. If you guys already have Facebook, then you guys should be very active on there. Just not trying to sell them anything like, hey, call me for a quote. Just let them know what you're doing. Hey, just help this person, did that. Today I'm doing this. Just make sure they know that you're working hard as an insurance agent and not being real salesy. Like, hey, can I quote you? Call me for a quote today. That's going to get really old. Be really, but I do recommend you guys definitely getting started on that early and seeing what works and what's not, because everything's going to be a trial and error, but that's something that definitely worth your attention when it comes to marketing.
Thank you. Can you talk about your current office layout and specifically where you are in that?
Yeah, the office layout is very open. I recommend that. I don't really like the office layouts that are very private, the old school where everybody has their doors and it's open or closed. I like to have a very open area. That way there's more communication within each other. I have a private office, but I'm out in the open too, because I like to be in the middle of the action. I'm training people all day long, and I want to hear what people are saying too. So in the beginning too, if you guys are looking for offices, I would like an open setup. Okay, having a private office is kind of cool. It could be an ego thing, but that's not really necessary unless it's really what you need it for is for recruiting. But when you're actually working, you really want to be sitting very close to who you hire, or it's almost like you're just next. If they have a question, they can ask you right away. They can hear you at all times. You really want to have close proximity to the people you're working with. So I really don't like the style where offices where one person's in one room, one person's in the other room. And when it comes to office, are you guys in the middle of looking for office space, or that's already kind of set up, or where is everybody with office?
Not quite yet, but they're getting their minds around it right now.
I think office space is an interesting one. You don't want to spend too much money because you want to have money for marketing and recruiting. But you also want to have enough space so you could grow too, because you office space, if it's limited, that's going to max out your ability to grow and hire people. So you really kind of want to have something. I would say more space is important than how it looks. space, and then you want to kind of commit yourself. Okay, it's a 3-year lease or a 5-year lease. You want to commit yourself to, like, if you have a big office space and it's not filled up, it's going to be a waste of rent. So that's going to be again, it just depends on everybody's risk tolerance. I think I was able to take a little bit more of a risk, and I was able to go a few years without making that much money. And that has paid off for me in the long run, where people who are a little bit hesitant on spending money and that's fine, there's definitely a safer route. So it all depends on what you guys want. I think that's what I would start off with. Okay, what do I want my agency to be like? And then work your way backwards.
Can we get into the marketing fun side?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what your top 3 marketing strategies are in your agency?
Okay, yeah, sure. The top 2 will be, believe it or not, social media is up there. Okay. Buying leads. Brian Scott is a great. Me and him think a lot like when it comes to spending money on leads. So leads, social media, and then natural market / referrals. So once it gets a lot easier, guys. In the beginning, it's a little harder. But once you guys have a book of business, those people are gonna send you referrals if you're doing a good job. You're able to cross-sell them things. But when you're a brand new agent, you really want to have enough activity where you're keeping yourself busy, you and your staff too. Because if you have, if you hire 2 people but nothing's coming in, it's just not going to be a great use of money when on payroll. So you really want to make sure that has worked for me. Okay, there's so many different ways to do it. Again, what works for me, but not necessarily that's not the only way to do it or the way for you guys to do it. I know agents that really work well with realtors or loan officers, and they go out every day and bring donuts or whatever marketing tactics you have. I would just say spend money on it. Buy the best donuts, take them to the best lunches, or if you're going to buy leads, buy the best leads, or if you're posting on social media, boost every post. Just spend money. That's where the budgeting, I think, comes into play, and that's what's going to help you grow your agency a lot faster if you're spending money. Now, if you're not spending money, it's just going to be hard because, you're just going to soon run out of friends and family to talk to. I don't know how else you could do it, but whatever it is, I would say just spending money is the key. And those 3 are the top ones. The first 2 is necessary, and the third one where you start getting referrals, that's when things get a lot easier.
What are your thoughts on telemarketers? Do you have telemarketers in your agency, or how do you quote your leads?
Well, the leads, when you call leads, that's not really telemarketing because they've already requested a quote. So I wouldn't call them telemarketers. I just have producers calling the leads. Telemarketers, are you talking, Shelly, like just cold calling?
Yes.
Versus
what you guys are doing now.
I don't like that. I don't even like it when my friend calls me. Just text me. It's kind of like, why are you calling me? So it's like anytime I get a phone call, it just automatically annoys me. So it's like, or someone calls me at my business about a call, it's like I don't take that call because it's just annoying. So it's like not a great way to start off a relationship. I'd rather have them call me. That's my tactic. So I think telemarketing is really an old style of marketing. And when you guys are thinking marketing strategies, I would always think, what's the new way? What's the new way? The new way is to email. Just send out mass emails, all the leads you have all the time. Email is not as annoying. We all get emails, so it's like that's accepted. Like we just get emails from everybody. And then texting is still not as annoying as it used to be now. So text, you gotta let them opt out. Obviously, you gotta follow all the rules. But I'd rather just send out a whole bunch of information, pictures, videos, emails, texts, send them all out there, and then hope someone calls you. Because when someone calls you, it's such a better sales atmosphere. Okay, you called me. Okay, you want a quote. Okay, it's much better when you're calling them and you're like, hey, it's just a much better situation to be in when someone's calling you rather than you're calling them.
Have any questions? Want to pick his brain about anything in particular? Yeah. He's good at that. I think you're getting everyone's minds turning right now. And majority of our proteges still have a little bit more time, a few more months left in their program. So this is a good way to get their mindset ready and lots to think about now.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh yeah, Ben has a question.
Do you have like a referral program or anything you do for your clients? Or referrals?
Yeah, referral program, small one, just between us here, it's just $25. Okay, I'm not sure if that's like even allowed, to be honest with you, but just something out there, gift card. But we can't really promote that because that's just between us, okay? Because you can't really just,
We can.
But
ours is $25, so you're good.
yeah, something small like that. But yeah, getting referrals is a huge part of the business. It really helps you guys out, really, because it's one thing for you to say, hey, we're doing a great job, we're a great agency, but someone else is saying it just builds so much more credibility. So, but I would say when it comes to getting referrals, another thing that's good is getting reviews online. That's going to be a key indicator because the world's going that way. Everyone's looking at reviews. So the more reviews you have on Facebook, Yelp, Google, that's going to really help out, build credibility. So I'd rather have somebody else say we're doing a good job than us saying it.
Do you send out mailers or do you have emails asking for these referrals, or what works the best for you guys?
Yeah. Once somebody sets up a policy with us, they just get, on this email list and they get automatic emails. It's pretty easy to set up automation these days. So first email is like, hey, thank you for joining us. Keep our phone number on file. Second one, one day later would be like, hey, review us with links. Third day would be, hey, and these are video emails too. The third day would be like, hey, send us a referral. Fourth one would be, hey, we have multi-policy discount. Fifth day would be, hey, life insurance. So we just constantly email our clients, and just let them, let them be aware of what we offer. So automation, MailChimp is a good program.
Mm-hmm. And are those video emails something that you guys already set up? They're just kind of ones that are in-house emails? The video ones that you guys do?
Those are ones we create ourselves. Mm-hmm. They're customized, yeah, a lot of times we have to figure things out on our own. Use some creativity there with marketing. I think every agency has their strong suit. Some people like being on front of camera. I think being on front of camera is a strong one. Video messaging is a very strong way to get people to know you, even though you're not there. Filming yourself a lot and sending it out to clients. Even direct messaging them on Instagram, direct messaging your face, talking to them. So you really want to leverage technology to put yourself out there and be known with prospect and clients.
What size is your agency?
Office space or the book of business?
Yeah.
Oh, the book of business is 8,000 policies. So yeah, took a long time.
Dan, can you tell everybody where they can find you guys on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube?
Yeah, sure. Everything is basically my last name is Kitajima. My first name is Dan Kitajima. That's my personal stuff. I do some coaching and consulting, but then the agency side is Kitajima Insurance. So basically, if you search my last name, you'll find the agency and my stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys could see, the activity level. The activity level is the key. Just posting constantly, more on the agency side, but just sending out a lot of emails. And that's why staff is so important because there's only so much one person can do. You just to generate enough activity, you just have to have manpower. So that's why when it comes to staffing and just being busy, it's just when you guys want to have results, it just comes down to just more activity.
Hey Dan, real quick on the staffing.
Yeah.
What, 11 11 people on your staff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all right?
Yes.
Do you have how many of those CSRs? I mean, I know some of them are through social media, but what do you see for CSRs, producers, or what? I mean, I'm assuming you have some sort of departments.
That's a good question. Well, I don't split it up as much as Brian does, but obviously there's going to be 3 of them that's like strictly sales. But they have to do customer service too. So if they get a customer service call, they got to handle it because some clients prefer to talk to that particular person they started the policy with. And then I have about well, pretty much all of them. 9 of them are licensed. So everybody who's 9 of them are licensed. So it just depends on what process they're in, because if they just got licensed, I'm not going to be sending them leads, because leads are very valuable. So they're going to have to earn their way into getting leads. So if they just got their license, okay, they could cross-sell, they could get asked for referrals. So they got to find their own ways to produce enough business. So the ones that have been with me 7, 5, 3 years, those are the ones that are really getting heavily, not heavily compensated. They're getting a lot of leads, so they're making more, obviously, because they have more opportunities. So it's a way of having to earn your way up there. But I'm not going to just say, hey, you guys only do sales, you guys only do customer service. Everybody should be doing both. That's the way I have my agency set up. There's different ways, obviously, that works for you guys. But in the beginning, if you guys are just thinking about, hey, my first employee, I would just be thinking, hey, this first person is going to be secretarial, customer service, with the goal of becoming a sales agent for agency producer. So that's the process. Secretary, administrative, envelopes, data entry, just emails, and then customer service, and then sales. So just starting that process over and over again.
Can you talk lastly about how you block out time during the day? Because not only are you managing your staff, you're also training new employees and doing social media, and there's a million directions that you're being pulled in. So what does your day-to-day kind of look like in the office?
Good question. It's just a lot of activity, okay? I get in the office around 8:30. Don't take a lunch break. I never step outside the office pretty much. I have food delivered to me around 4 p.m. I'm here till 7:30. So it just takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort to build something, meaningful. When it comes to blocking out time, you just never know what's going to happen. Like, again, I'm sitting very close. Like the people that have been with me 7 years, those are the ones that have their offices and they're kind of further away from me. The people that I've just recruited and are brand new, those are the ones that are like sitting very close to me. So when it comes to blocking out time, I just have to be available for them because my main job right now is basically training and motivating them. That's like my main thing right now, and recruiting and things like that, and then also marketing too, thinking of marketing campaigns. So it's kind of hard to block out time because I have to be available, but I know what time around the day, so I do have some things always planned for during the day. I have some meetings with staff members. That's around 11:30. We'll read a book, sales book, or we'll watch a YouTube video, get motivated, do something together as a team, and then the rest of the time, I have client meetings. I got to sell insurance myself too. I got to know what I'm doing. Yeah, blocking out time. I'll also say on the weekends, I'm also spending some time, like Sunday mornings are the times where I look at my budget. So that is an important time where I block out my time when it comes to budgeting. When you guys are, since that's a very important thing, I really think that's very important that Jeff is having you guys on the mindset of, okay, how much money can I truly spend? Because that number is, higher that number is, the more you can invest now, that's going to pay off big time. So I'm really glad that he's talking about that so early in your guys' process, because people are just not spending enough money on their agencies. So on Sunday mornings, I look at my numbers, even my personal numbers, see how much I'm spending money on my personal lifestyle, see how much money I have to spend, and then marketing campaigns. Hey, what kind of marketing can I do? What kind of content? Write out scripts, make out, have ideas. And then Sunday is a really important time for me to do that. And I'm working on Saturdays too. So Saturday is like a normal day for me as far as being in the office and the phones are ringing all the time. So Sunday is finally the time at home where it's really quiet. No one's bothering me. Employees aren't asking me questions. Even the kids can't bother me. For a couple hours there, I really think hard of, okay, what's the big game plan here? So those are some of the things. I think I should need to do a better job of blocking out more time for thinking, but definitely doing is important, but having some time to block out, hey, what do I need to do here, is something that's I used to be able to do more early. So that's a great question, Shelly. I think in the early stages, thinking is also very important, because a couple of hours of thinking really hard can make a huge difference on your agency. Rather than just, hey, where am I going to get the next sale? Where am I going to get the next sale? Just thinking short term, really want to start thinking long term.
Hi, Dan. I wanted to thank you so much for your time today, speaking with our protege agents about everything there is to know about opening up a farmer's insurance agency. It was really insightful listening to you discuss budgeting, office space, recruiting, staffing, compensation, and so much more. Your marketing is really, really impactful. Everything that you're doing is something that each of our agents will be able to take little nuggets of different things that you're implementing currently in your agency and using those tools going forward when they open up their own agency here in the DFW area. So I just wanted to thank you so much. I truly appreciate your time. You are definitely an agency that I will refer future agents to look up to. I think you have a great mindset. You have great staffing, and the proof is in the numbers, my friend. So thank you again so much for your time. We are forever grateful for it, and I hope to work with you again in the future. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe, and then stay tuned for more future videos to help you grow your insurance agency. And also comment below and let me know what you think. Until next time, thank you.